Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Miles, and this is my deck. This is Sisei, Weatherlight Captain. Sorry for the bad camera angle and whatnot, but all I want to do is show you an idea for my deck for you all. This is what I do. This is just a little idea for a different deck. It has power. It's not very high power. It is somewhat, but it's not going to kill your opponent on the fourth turn, okay? So what I'd like to go through with you is just give you some ideas. So we're going to use Captain Sisei. Obviously, I have the mat here, but if you don't know what Captain Sisei does, she has 3 mana for a white, 1 white, 2 colorless. She has the ability. Her ability is for every other legendary permanent for color they have. She gets +1/+1. Right. Her 5 color Wooburg ability is that she may search for a legendary permanent card with a converted mana cost less than her power. So her power, she is reliant upon other creatures or her power, but her power is everything. If I use 5 mana and she's only a 2/2, she's searching for a legendary that is 1 mana or less. Not much I can do with that. So what you have to do is you have to have other creatures or planeswalkers, possibly even equipment, to power her up so that she can do her Wooburg ability. All right, let's talk about what we're going to need to do. Lands. We're not even going to mess around. This is the most expensive part of your deck. This is what I do for mana right now. Currently, I use all 5 triomes. They're the triple colors, come into play tapped. Run those. Go to your local game store, pick them up. You don't have to do this. I run the pathways because if I'm going to have all these pathways in my collection, I might as well use them. So I use the pathways most relevant to the color spectrum I'm using with my creatures. All foil. Yeah, I know. I just, why have good cards if you're not going to ever use them? I use a few fetches just to clear out my exact mana type to kind of flush myself out. The green white one. Sometimes I need mana at a specific color. So then I have a couple pay 2 life to come into play untapped. And then I run all the commander special ones that are, if you have 2 or more players, they don't come into play tapped. I use all of them. All right. And then there's going to be quite a few lands where I just need color. I just need all the colors. So Reflecting Pool does that. Exotic Orchard does that. Mana Confluence. Uh, could be City of Brass if you want. I like just using that card. Command Tower. Forbidden Orchard. Dangerous, but still does what you do. If we're going to run all this land and all this ramp, then we're going to run a Field of the Dead, right? We're going to get zombies. We run the World Tree because it color fixes at 6 mana. It's a big deal. I run 2 of the snow lands that I needed their dual lands. I didn't want to use Guild Gates, so I figure they could be fetched. And then I only use 3 basic lands. Not serious, not crazy. Now, let's talk about what you're doing with your spells. I use 4 ramp cards. All right. I'm going to have mana rocks. My mana's pretty good, but we use 4 ramp cards. There's no guarantee you're going to get these cards, but my safe zone is 4. I use quite a different board clears. Merciless Eviction, Heaven and Earth. I'll talk about all of them. Let me put them all out in front of you first so I can tell you why I use these. All right. With Captain Sisei, you're going to be on defense. They're going to come at you. Everyone knows what she does at your game table. The Wrath of Gods, a normal include because the 4 costs destroy all the creatures, right? Blasphemous Act is part of a combo. I'll talk about this. Merciless Eviction is your big boy here. All right. That destroys creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, or artifacts. All of them. Exiles. Big deal. That handles problems. This is just a do damage all flying or just do damage to ground creatures. Sometimes it's a nice choice. I love my Runeous Ultimatum. Destroys all their things, doesn't destroy mine. If you find yourself with no creatures, they're winning. Everyone's ahead of you. Just go ahead and living death them. Exile all those creatures, put the graveyards into play, and we'll go. And this is my favorite right here. Ursa's Runeous Blast. What this does right here, it's a legendary sorcery, so you need a legendary in play. What it does is exile all non-land permanents that are not legendary. All my creatures are legendary. All my equipment is legendary. So when I blast everyone, it doesn't affect me. Now I'm going to leave Blasphemous Act out for a second. I want to describe to you one little combo. All right? I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to skip ahead. If you play against a lot of people that like to spread the board, elf ball, they go zombies, they go a million Godos, here's your answer right here, right? The reason I want to show you this is because these two answers is how I win games if someone spreads the board. All right, Blasphemous Act, I don't need to explain it to you. It does 13 damage to every creature on the board. 13 damage. Important, right? So we get this 13 damage. Let's say we have an elf opponent with just 10 elves out there. So we're going to do 13 damage to all those elves, right? Trogath. What he does specifically for 4 mana, a 5/4, whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, Trogath deals damage equal to the excess to any target other than that permanent. So, if they have 10 elves out, I hit them. Let's say they're all 2/2. Let's say all 3/3s. He buffed them. He has 10 3/3 elves. So he has 30 power in play. We do 13 damage to each of them. That means that 10 damage for all of them goes anywhere you want. You have 40 life. Look, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Game over. Good game, guys. Don't spread the board against me or you lose. All right, just wanted to show you that. Just want to show you that little combo. Oh, by the way, he's a legendary too. Oh my god. I use quite a few charms. I need versatility. Like sometimes I just need to borrow charms. Sometimes I want to send creatures back to him. The Rakdos charm here has been carrying me for years. This thing destroys the graveyard. If they have 1,000 creatures in play, it kills them. Carries me. I love the Grixis charm. You've no idea how many times this has saved me. Sultai charm, destroy enchantments, get destroy creatures. Sometimes very Tamir charm, probably the best charm in the game. All right. I use quite a few counters. I use Unwind to untap my mana. Dovin's Veto, counterspell itself. Render Silent, beautiful counter. Stop them in their tracks. Negate. I don't go too crazy on counter spells. I just have a couple answers I put in there, right? I don't want to go too crazy. I use Reanimate. It's likely that one of my big creatures is going to be useful to come back, or I take one of their big creatures in the graveyard. Do a little fetch, fetch, fetch. All these cards, go get what you need, all right? Here's some, I need the blink for sometimes. This is how I take commanders out of the game. Oubliette, you're out of here, you're in jail. This is how I find equipment. This is Akroma's, it's just my finisher or protection. And I just like playing this beautiful card. So now you got the spells. So we've done mana, we've done spells. I will quickly go through the equipment. I use Blade of the, I'm going to put the equipment out right in front of you real quick. And we'll just touch upon it. All right. All right. All 4 of these weapons are there to help Sisay. All right. First thing is Hammer and Azan, gives her +2 and indestructible. Ember Cleaver, we know what that does. It's flashable, attacks, gives you +1/+1. Good finisher. If you're pumped up, if Sisay's about a 5/5, 6/6, all of a sudden she's a 7/7 double strike. Right? Big deal. So, or you just put on one of your other creatures. Good card. Black Blade Reforged gives you +1/+1 for every land you have in play. You put that on Sisay, you have like 5-6 lands to play, all of a sudden she's a 10/10, you can search for any card in your deck. Very good card. You could also search for it, it's only 2. Hero's Blade. Now, I get a lot of flack from my playgroup by this card. It is an uncommon, it is 2 mana. It only works in my deck. Right, it says equipped creature gets +3/+2. Okay, whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Hero's Blade. So all my deck is legendaries, right? That means that anytime they come to play, I may just put it on her. Okay. Avacyn comes out play. Okay, we'll just put that on her, right? For free. It just, I only pay the upfront cost for 2 once. I never pay the equip cost because all my creatures are legendaries. All right. So that's Hero's Blade. That's Hammer Design, Ember Cleaver, and the Helm of the Host is for the Godo combo. Or if you just want to create another legendary, let's say you want an Eldish Norn or so, whatever, right? That's the equipment. Mana Rocks, Skyclave Relic, Replicating Ring, Command Sphere, Foil Soul Ring because I like to flex. Chromatic Lantern fixes your mana, Arcane Signet, and the only artifact I play just for fun is Sauron's Temporal Gateway. What this does is puts any creature in your, from 4 mana, put any creature in your hand into play. So I can just put Avacyn, you know, into play. Like, oh, 4 mana, tap, oh, here she is. Or 4 mana, I tap it. Here's Elder Snorn, right? Have fun. Like, enjoy, everyone. All right, so that's my mana rocks. They all tap for anything I need to help me fix colorless. Planeswalkers, if you need to search for them, these are the ones I like to run. I love the brothers. We have a commander that's giving us problems, or a permanent's giving us problems. We take it. We just take their stuff. Ugin, board clears exactly what we need to. We know what Ugin does. Kea has a specific ability where I could just start exiling things I need. The problem cards I see, she just, get out of here. I just don't want to deal with you anymore. All right? Planeswalkers. You could get more powerful. This is mine. I don't like to go up to full power. I'll show you the creatures real quick. Elder Snorn. Obviously, you know why. I'm going to go through every one of them. Every one of them have a purpose. There is nothing... There is nothing in here that doesn't belong. We'll put... Or does have a purpose. All right. Avacyn, Elder Snorn. These are the high-end guys. These are... Or Anachroma. I'm sorry. I forgot about her. Are high-end angels where I just cast them and they do things. And Elder Snorn. See, Avacyn gives everything indestructible. Gisela does double damage or half damage to us. Aurelia War Leader gives all my creatures... We get 2 combat phases. So if I have a big board, we go double combat phase. We win the game. All right, so the angels are... We know what the angels do. Elder Snorn, sometimes if you have a guy who has a big board, or you just want to shut down everybody, or their commander on the other opponent only has 2 health, Elder Snorn's the answer. Achroma, I just love her, so I run her. All right. Azika World Tree. You can cast her for the mana dork, but the other side is the enchantment, which is worthy of why she's being run, because she just drops in big things. All right. I want to talk about Yasharn. Go gets mana, has an interesting ability. Nico Bolas, just in case. He gives us 3 colors to pump up Sisay. He's 4 mana. He can transform into his other form as well. Dramoka is my answer if I need to shut everyone up when I need to do my Sisay abilities, because his abilities say your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So if he's in play, no one bothers me when I hit him with Godo. And if you don't know the combo, just so I show you Godo, just really quick, for anyone that's not very good or still trying to figure this out, when Godo comes into play, right, let's say I have Dramoka out. No one can cast spells, no one can counter me, no one can stop me. I put Godo into play from my hand, or I search it with Sisay. All right? When he comes into play, he brings out the Helm of the Host. It is not attached unless you have a card that does that. It is not attached. So you have to have 5 mana. But if you have 5 mana, you attach to Godo, he attacks, and you just create infinite, as many as you want, 1,000, 10,000 Godos as you want, and you attack. The game is over. All right? To go with that, if you need, like I said, Godo does infinite. If we need to make them all invincible, do we need to make a whole nother combat phase? Do we need to take out blockers? Right? Do we need to stop the player's turn? Do we want to win the game? 11 mana, right? Other creatures. 3 mana wall with 3 different colors. The powers that to save 3 plus, and you can send players the direction you want. Has a purpose, must be used. Let's say we have the creatures, but we have no way to trample through. All creatures gain trample, cannot be countered. Very useful. Let's say you're behind. Sisay's gone. We have no board. We can't seem to play, or we do have Sisay in play. We can either search for this or play this. Rakdos the Showstopper. Why this is important is a static board clear. It says when Rakdos comes to play, every creature on the board flips a coin that is not an imp, devil, or demon. That means everything, right? So if you're behind or whatnot, you just drop this. Everyone on the board has to coin flip. You lose your creature. There is no, it doesn't target, it's just static. So if you're playing defense and all of a sudden someone's going to swing at you for the game, you're like, all right, I use Sisay and Rakdos. All the creatures on the board start flipping. Some are going to live, some are going to die. We go on. It's a interesting weapon that allows me to attach weapons, go back and forth between my angels, and also turn into a weapon itself. Also searchable from the weapon search card if I need it. Situational, just wanted to run it. It's a new card. I decided it would be worthy of running. This last card I'm going to show you is how I deal with when we're in stalemate. Let's say the whole board has a board and nobody wants to make the move. What this card does here, you play it from Sisay, all right, before they declare their attack phase, all right, it says, when this card enters the battlefield, until your next turn, creatures your opponents control attack each combat if able, and attack a player other than you if able. So if you have 4 players on the board, right, we just go ahead and put this out there before combat phases started from your player, whatever you feel threatened. Boom, he's in play. You all have to attack, but you can't attack me. All your creatures have to attack, including your commander, right? So what this does is, and then you're like, okay, you all attack, right? I'm going to sit here safe, right? Because the rules clearly states you got to attack someone else able. And then the other ability is, whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So when they're blowing each other up, we're protected, right? They got to attack each other. And then also, we gain life and they all lose life. This is a situational card. All right. I think you've seen exactly what I try to do here. It's strong, right? It does its thing. It won't make your opponents super salty, and it won't they will appreciate you, because we can obviously turn this deck up. We can turn the power up a little more, but basically what the idea is, because Sisay and her ability, we can search every card in here because they're all legendaries, right? So essentially our deck becomes our hand if we have the mana and the power. We can do whatever we need. Oh, we have enchantments we need to destroy. Do we need to pump up? Do we need to double strike them? Do I need to board clear? Do I need more land? Do I need an equipment? I go get it. I go get my answers. All right. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. I'm sorry for the quality that you can't really look at the cards. But I mean, this deck isn't for novice players. It really isn't. I mean, to play this deck, I'm not even kidding you guys. You have to understand what every card in this deck is. You have to understand what your board situation is. You also have to understand that once your opponents understand what you can do, once they understand that you can just win games anywhere, they will target this. They will come for you, and rightfully so. I mean, most of our creatures are big. They're slow. I have a lot of board control, or another blue player can shut us down. But we can also get back into the game. We equalize the board. We rebuild. Go for them. Or if you're playing defensive, have a board, right? Your big stuff. You don't have to attack them, right? You don't have to defend. You just got to make sure you don't live. You have ways to win the game. But you figuring out how you're going to win the game against the board is very interesting. I gave you two auto win conditions: the Godo with the Helm of the Host. I gave you Trograph with Blasphemous Act. Those are your 2 super win conditions. If you get a condition where they're going to allow you to go Godo in Helm of Host, and they don't have like a counter or whatnot, you make 1,000,000 Godos, you kill them all. All right. If they don't have all right. And the second one is Trograph. If they have, I'd say once you get past about 12 to 13 creatures on the board, 13 damage a creature adds up very quickly. You know, if you have, what I'm saying is you're going to have about 40, 50, 60 damage that you're supposed to go wherever you want. Use it wisely. But you should just annihilate a player. Whoever the weakest player left, you let them live and say, okay, now that I've killed them, you're next. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. I do apologize again for the quality of the cards on the camera, but it's just simply the best I can do it now. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.